Bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. Yeah, Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech?
No.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
I'm doing right now. My shoulder broke, but we still getting to the money. We still count paper. This ain't a pump and dump, baby.
Rick Ross just did one of the craziest tricks ever to Big Meech. And now people are saying that Meech has confronted him about it. 50 Cent is making a lot of jokes about the whole situation online. But here is the surprising part. Everyone else could see this whole thing coming from far away, but Meech himself did not see it. People on the internet are watching and talking about it nonstop. They are acting like it is the final episode of their favorite television show. But seriously, what did Meech think was going to happen when he started a problem with someone who used to be a police officer? Let us look more closely at this whole situation.
This mess.
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
Ever since Rick Ross turned on him, 50 Cent has been posting a lot of hidden messages about Big Meech and Lil Meech all over his social media. But the craziest thing is that a few months ago, as soon as Big Meech got out of prison, he was seen hanging out with Rick Ross. He was acting like Ross was his best friend and hero. Meech knew that Ross and 50 Cent had been arguing for many years. Even knowing that, Meech still decided to be friends with Ross instead of staying away from him. He did not show any love to 50 Cent, who had been a loyal friend to him all that time. Big Meech was smiling big in pictures with Ross, acting like Ross was the one who helped him for the last 20 years. That had to feel like a betrayal to 50 Cent, even if he did not expect Meech to treat Ross like an enemy. And while Lil Meech is out there talking about what real power is, it feels like a direct insult aimed at 50. Big Meech made things even worse by then meeting up with Floyd Mayweather, who is also someone 50 Cent has problems with. Sure, Meech's name might have helped make $50 million, but at least 50 Cent actually built something real with it. Besides using Meech like a piece in a game, what has Ross actually done? He made a sneaky move to get more fame for himself. He was enjoying all the tension and feeding his own ego because he knew the whole situation was going to turn into a huge drama. And when things started to get really heated, before people could even understand what was happening, Ross was already quietly leaving the situation.
Back.
I'm doing right now. My shoulder broke, but we still getting to the money. We still count paper. This ain't a pump and dump, baby.
People think Rick Ross kept his distance from Big Meech because he hurt his shoulder. But that was not the real reason. It was just an excuse, so he would not have to talk to his fans. He changed the whole story and tricked the same people with his special cryptocurrency plan. After he tricked everyone who trusted him with their money, people on the internet started calling him Ruggy Ross. And you should remember, he just happened to have that shoulder injury only a few days after he lied to Big Meech, and everyone found out about it. So yeah, it is safe to say he was really trying to hide from the situation. The thing is, Ross quietly sold almost all of those special tokens. He only kept a couple, so he could turn the money he made into his real estate business. If Ross had not been getting in his way, Big Meech might have been able to make a real return to the music business. But instead, Meech kept making a lot of bad decisions. And with Lil Meech, people are now making fun of Big Meech because his so-called friendship with Ross fell apart so quickly. One of the people talking about this the most is Michael Rainey Jr. He came out and said directly that he does not feel bad for Lil Meech or Big Meech. He said this because they are both grown men who should have seen this coming. And 50 Cent agreed with that idea strongly in his own part of the internet.
Do I feel bad for Lil Meech? I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the fuck I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too, nigga. You asking for my sympathy for, nigga. You be alright. Oh, yeah, nigga.
Everyone already knows that 50 Cent is not someone you want to mess with when he has a personal problem with you. A person named DJ Vlad even agreed with this. He said that 50 Cent is the last person you would want to fight against because he is willing to ruin everything just to prove that he is right.
His point.
Burn it all down. If you piss him off. His own sometimes too. You know, he'll cancel BMF to prove a point. regardless of how much money you make.
Rick Ross has left people in a bad spot before, and Big Meech is not the first person this has happened to. He did the same thing to his own group of friends. He left them to get into a fight in Canada, and then he came back and said he was just testing how strong they were. That was a very mean thing to do. But the truth is, Ross has always acted this way from the very beginning. He could see how this whole situation was going to happen a long time ago. This is especially true when a man named Whack 100 said that Ross was the real bad guy in this whole problem with 50 Cent and Big Meech.
Bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. Yeah, Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech.
No.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
Big Meech was never really a true friend to Rick Ross from the very start. Ross knew exactly what he was doing the whole time. He got Meech excited by talking about helping him make a lot of money and setting him up for a good life. He showed him off in public like they were best friends and was quietly turning him against 50 Cent. But in the end, it was all just words and no action. Whack 100 was not lying when he talked about this. If Ross really wanted to help Meech get back on his feet, he would have kept their business plans quiet and private. Instead, he was out in public making fun of 50 Cent and talking a lot, even though he knew he was never going to get the rights to the BMF television series. Now Ross has gone completely silent about Meech, and all that excitement is gone. Ross only pushes for things that are going to make him money, and Meech is not part of that plan anymore. There is a rumor that Ross is the real reason Meech's welcome home party got cancelled, but he let everyone believe it was 50 Cent's fault. The truth is Ross did not want Meech to make a strong return and earn money from that event. He wanted Meech to stay quiet in the background while Ross acted like the good guy in public. It was like when 50 Cent posted something online and then deleted it, saying he had nothing to do with it and asking people to stop calling his phone. He said he sincerely hoped they had a nice day and happy Valentine's Day, and that he was stronger than people thought. A lot of people did not think Ross was really the kind of person to do these things, but now everything makes sense. That whole BMF song he released had Big Meech believing that Ross was on his side and supporting him. Ross was basically saying, "I guess I'm Big Meech." But what if actually becoming Big Meech was Ross's real goal all along? Think about that. Ross has a long history of using other people's famous names to make his own brand more popular, especially if they are important people from the streets. This is not even something we can argue about. His whole rapper identity came from using the name of the real Rick Ross, a very well-known person who was in prison at the time. And when the real Rick Ross got out of prison, he confronted the rapper and even tried to take him to court over it.
Feel about the rapper Rick Ross having the same name?
Well, the fact that he stole my name, not that we had the same name, he actually stole my whole story, my identity, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You know, he built his career off of my legacy.
All of this happened back in the year 2005. And then by 2010, the real Rick Ross, the man who ran a very large business in the 1980s, took the rapper to court. He sued him for stealing his name and using his identity. But in 2013, a judge decided that the rapper was right to use the name after he claimed the real Rick Ross was not telling the truth and that he had just made the name up for himself. The rapper then acts like he supports people by getting close to them as soon as they get out of prison. And this is just one more example of what happened to a man named Larry Hoover because of Rick Ross in 2021. Larry Hoover, who is a real legend from the streets, was another name that Ross liked to use in his songs while Hoover was still in prison. Ross was out there using Hoover's name to get more famous and to make more money, but he never actually did anything real to help Hoover. People have been criticizing him a lot for doing that, and they have a very good reason to be upset. The truth is, when a person is willing to turn on you at any moment, it is not a surprise that 50 Cent has always said he never respected Ross as a man.
Career that you have any respect for? No, there's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
Let's just say that 50 Cent is probably smiling a very big smile while he watches all this crazy stuff happen. This is because he did not even have to do anything before the whole situation fell apart. He is out there working on new projects and making a lot of money every single day. At the same time, Big Meech and Lil Meech are supposedly asking for help and going from one famous person to another just to try and stay relevant. And to make things worse, Ross was out there saying that 50 Cent had no money. He was making fun of him for not getting the bank loan he needed to start his own movie company. But to Ross's surprise, that loan was approved just a few days ago. And now we are seeing for ourselves that 50 Cent is really the kind of person that nobody wants to have a problem with. The crazy part is that Ross was just boasting a few weeks ago about buying the rights to 50 Cent's old music. Now his fans are sure that he is somewhere feeling very angry and frustrated about it. When you think about it now, his big boast sounds completely silly.
Ridiculous.
I'll buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
Even though it is pretty much too late for 50 Cent to step in and help Big Meech now, or to get Lil Meech back on his side, it is clear that some lessons were learned from all of this. A person named Zip with the Drip, who had been saying from the very beginning that 50 Cent was telling the truth about Big Meech, had a lot to say about the whole situation. He said that things would become more difficult and confusing later on, and that Rick Ross would eventually stop working with Big Meech. And now we are in this exact difficult spot. Many fans have been talking about this entire incident. Most of them believe that Meech is finished with the music business because his one big chance to make a comeback was completely ruined. But the truth is, the situation is actually the total opposite of that. This is exactly why this one person came out and said, "Let me get this straight. A former prison guard changed his mind and betrayed someone who was in prison. Who could have seen that coming? And then a person who is two-faced gets tricked by another person who is also two-faced. There's a word for that. It is called karma. For real, this karma just happened, and it is still very fresh. But I want to know what all of you think about the whole situation. Do you think Big Meech is planning his revenge on Rick Ross? Please write your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are liking this video, hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of these crazy updates.